everybody, and welcome back to the Save the Bay podcast. I'm communications intern Danielle Grillo here with Adam Kowarski.
Hello, great to see everyone again.
Thanks for joining us. So, Adam, what is our theme for the month here at the Exploration Center?
Yes, so this upcoming month is going to be Our Bay, Our Future for the month of December.
Very nice.
It's a great theme, and we're really going to focus on topics related to environmental conservation, how it relates to wildlife, and how it relates to people, too.
So I know a big issue right now is climate change on our Earth, and how does that affect not only the Bay, but also us as humans?
Yeah. So climate change is, for those of you that are a little unsure of the definition, weather patterns and temperatures are changing at kind of a drastic rate on our planet. Things are getting warmer, and this is due to the heat trapping blanket around our planet from the emission of the burning of fossil fuels. And they're finding it's heating things up and really changing things. The climate is changing. So one specific fact that I really love to bring up when people ask me about this, like what kind of evidence do you have, right? We want to back it up.
Right.
So we have found that our bay in the past 100 years has risen about 4 degrees in temperature on average, 4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Now that doesn't sound like a ton, but when you're looking at such a short amount of time in our planet's history, 100 years, a drop in the bucket, that really is significant for animals, especially in something like the ocean and in the bay that is so good at resisting temperature change and is normally so stable. You see a change like that, it can really cause some issues. So that's one way it really relates to our wildlife and our bay, but that also can affect humans too in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely. So everybody can contribute to keeping the world a cleaner place, but what types of conservation efforts best benefit our Narragansett Bay?
So right now, every once in a while, everyone at Save the Bay, we kind of get together and we're like, all right, what is the biggest issue that we really want to overarchingly sort of focus on? And right now, we've all decided, like we've been talking about, is climate change. So really the best ways to work on climate change is to look at your communities. In the past, we've thought a lot about how, what can I do to help this problem? We really have found that we need to look at this from a broad community base. What can you do in your community to help work on these problems? One great example is the Pell School right here in Newport. It's a wonderful elementary school here. The teachers there are amazing. They do great things. They've started a walking school bus program.
Oh, wow.
Which is really interesting,
That's
right?
awesome.
So there's a lot of neighborhoods that are close to the school, and some volunteer parents and chaperones, that kind of thing, they volunteered to walk around to a bunch of the different houses where the kids live, and they all walk to school together. So one, it's safe. They all get to walk together, and they're in a nice big group. But it's also, it's getting that idea of the community working together to make a difference.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's one easy way that they've figured it out.
So what are some things that Save the Bay has done in terms of restoration efforts?
Yeah, so Save the Bay has a long history with restoration. We were started back in 1970. Originally, we worked very hard on policy, so making sure that there's good laws to protect our bay, because, the bay can't talk. We have to speak for the bay. Someone needs to, right?
Right.
And after we have done a lot of policy work, we really decided that, okay, we need to get into the restoration aspect. So let's get those laws in place so now we can make these improvements. So we've done a lot of work with eelgrass populations in the past, so trying to map out where eelgrass is in the bay. It's a vital habitat in the bay for spawning fish, and we've even done some transplanting, trying to regrow those populations. It's still very vulnerable to climate change, those eelgrasses. Part of it is because water level is rising in our bay, which is making it hard for them to grow. They're not getting enough sunlight because the water depth is getting too great.
Wow.
And that's because the polar ice caps are melting, all because of climate change.
Yeah.
That's one example. We also do a lot of work with dune grasses lately. That's more of a new one. And we've done it in the past, but more so even here at Easton's Beach. So where we're sitting right now used to be a sand dune. Sand dunes have these grasses called dune grasses. They hold the sand dune in place, they protect things behind it, and they create habitat. So we've been working really hard on sand dunes as well, planting those grasses. And again, the Pell School, they've actually had every single third grader since 2012 up until this year, actually out here planting those grasses out there and learning why it's so important.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and that's just a few examples. I can go on and on and on. The list is kind of endless with this one for the things that we've been working on.
So let's talk about the green economy bond a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, so that's a great win in the policy kind of world. And again, policy, that's where kind of like humans and the environment can really meet when you're looking at an environmental standpoint. These policies are in place so people can know the best ways to interact with our environment that's going to keep it around, keep it healthy for humans and animals too. So the green economy bond was just voted on this past election, and some great things came from it. So one is in Rhode Island, there's going to be $35 million put towards green economy bond, this bond that we have here. That's going to include things like stormwater pollution control, so making sure that the water coming into the bay is nice and clean from our wastewater. They're going to work on brownfield development. So that's a certain type of landfill, mostly industrial. And that's actually, I don't know if you knew this, but our Bay Center in Providence was built on a brownfield.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's an old landfill. And we've restored the habitats there. We've made it really happy and healthy for a lot of animals. And it's also given us a place to grow our business that can really be a model for the community.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a really amazing thing. Makes me proud to work for Save the Bay when we do things like that. You know, it's wonderful. This bond also includes open space protection and also a lot of money to incorporate more outdoor recreation. So things like bike paths, preserving space so people can get out there and hike and walk around and have fun and learn to love the environment and more than just on paper and actually see it.
Yeah, especially the beauty that Rhode Island has to offer. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're super unique. A bay, an estuary, it's such a unique, amazing habitat. I spend time every day looking at it, making sure it's there and loving it, you know, and everyone should take the time to do that.
Yeah. So we have as always, the craft and scavenger hunt, right, for this month theme?
Yeah. So for the theme, as always, we have wonderful activities. So you can come in here, you can learn about all the things we've been talking about. It's great for adults, great for kids, and for the kids we have things like crafts where they'll get to build some kind of very interesting conservation-related craft that we're currently developing. There's going to be scavenger hunts for kids that are maybe a little bit older and want to actually walk around the aquarium, look for clues, and learn more about all this conservation and the future of our bay. And then, as always, we have a few hundred animals here to check out. Yesterday, I even got a few more animals, too. So, we're always getting new stuff. We just released some animals, too. Things are always moving in and out of here, so you can really learn about the wildlife that's being protected in our bay.
And we have the feeding frenzy for the month of December.
Yes. So we have another feeding frenzy. Our last one was awesome. This time of year, the animals start to act a little different. They actually sense the seasons here. So some things might be more hungry. Some things might be a little less hungry. It's kind of neat. If you've done it before, you can kind of do it again and
see how they change.
See how they change a little bit. And then even if you have done it before, like I said, there's new animals too. So there's new things eating. One neat thing that we just got is an Atlantic needlefish. This thing's really neat. It's got like these very scissor-like jaws and teeth look like needles. It's a really cool thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we have Christmas break coming up down the pike, and we're going to be closed on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Yeah. So we really try and give a place for people to come when school is not in session. In Newport and in Rhode Island, there's not a ton of indoor activities for kids and things. So we really try and make sure that even if the kids aren't in school learning, you can kind of trick them into learning. Bring them here, come have fun. So the days we won't be open are Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. But during that Rhode Island School Public Vacation Week, those other times we will be open. Best thing to do, check our website. The full listing of hours are right on there.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Adam. We're going to go talk to Eric Furman about some seal tours in Newport and Fall River that are coming up.
Yes.
And then we'll bring it back around here to end the show. Thank you.
Awesome. Tons of fun.
Now we're here with Eric Furman, one of our boat captains at Save the Bay. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
We're here to talk about seal tours.
You bet.
So our Westerly Seal Tours are starting to come to a close, but we're getting into the heart of the Newport tours and also Fall River. So you want to highlight those a little bit? Sure.
The Westerly tours will run through the end of December. So we've still got all the weekends between now and then, plus the school vacation following Christmas. So we'll run right up till New Year's Eve.
Awesome.
And then Newport trips are running every weekend. We'll also run during that winter break. And the Fall River trips, they'll start in March and run through the first weekend in April.
Awesome. So the Newport tours are an hour-long tour, but then there's also the 2-hour tour, which includes the off-boat Rose Island Lighthouse tour.
That's right. So where we go in Newport is one of the SEAL's favorite haul-out spots in all of the bay. So
Awesome.
Regularly we see anywhere from 20-plus SEALs out there. And then we'll also do those special 2-hour trips. It's usually a time when we expect the tide isn't quite great for seeing seals. We certainly still expect to see some, but maybe not in the numbers that we do on our 1-hour trips. Okay. But the lighthouse is a fantastic place to stop.
Yeah, what's that like?
Oh, it's lighthouse built in 1870.
Wow.
It was restored in 1994 and relit. And it's been open to the public as a living museum ever since. But this time of year, the only way to get out there is by private tour. So we're one of the only boats that are going to be able to get you out there in the wintertime. And it's just like stepping back into time.
Oh, that's awesome. Is it still an active working lighthouse too?
It goes on every night. It is a private aid to navigation.
Okay.
But with the bridge there, it's really not too much need for a lighthouse anymore, which is why it was decommissioned back in 1971.
Very interesting. So what is the Fall River tours like? How do they differ from
So the
Newport?
Fall River tours, we head out into Mount Hope Bay, which is a body of water that not a lot of people get out onto. We'll head over to Spar Island, where we hope to see some seals over there. And then we'll get up into the Taunton River a little bit, the lower Taunton. We'll see the historic ships over at Battleship Cove, get nice up and close personal with those.
Very cool.
It's a real fun trip.
Awesome. Now, I just learned that we actually do private charters as well.
Yeah, we do private trips. So if you have either a group of people who want to book the whole boat, or if you have a group that you would like us to collect the money for, we can set it up as a private group where only your group can do bookings on that trip. We just have a minimum number of folks that need to be able to go, and then we'll run that trip.
Awesome. I actually was able to go out on a westerly tour earlier this month and had an awesome time. Got to see a couple seals, and then it was just a beautiful tour, all the nature.
Did you get a chance to see the bald eagle down there?
No, we saw an osprey, but not the bald eagle.
That's a good one. We sometimes see a bald eagle or a pair of bald eagles that are there on the river.
That's very cool.
And that river is full of ospreys, so it's an amazing bunch of wildlife that you can see on that trip.
Awesome. So our seal tours highlight the chance to see harbor seals, which is the Rhode Island state official marine mammal.
Marine mammal, the official marine mammal of Rhode Island, to go with calamari, our official, what is it, hors d'oeuvre of appetizer of Rhode Island. But marine mammals, the harbor seal is the most common marine mammal in New England. We do, on rare occasions, see some gray seals on our trip. And those are the seals that hang out down the tip of Cape Cod.
Okay.
And they're much bigger, so you can definitely see the difference when we see them. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, it's going to be harbor seals.
Awesome. All right. So, like I said, our fall tours, our westerly tours, are coming to a close pretty soon. But make sure you go out and book them in advance. And they also make great holiday gifts giving out these tours to people, right? Yeah, it's
fantastic. We have gift certificates available right on our website. So you can get those, and we can send them out to you right through the last week of before Christmas. And if you're really struggling for a last-minute gift, you can pick one up either at the Exploration Center or at the Bay Center as well.
Awesome. So, Eric, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you book your tickets in advance for these seal tours because they'll book up pretty quickly, and you don't want to miss out. And if you want more information, check out savebay.org/seals. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Eric and Adam, for joining us on this episode of the Save the Bay podcast, talking about our bay, our future for the month of December. As always, I'm Danny Guerrillo, Communications Intern.
And I'm Adam Kowarski, Aquarium Manager and Education Specialist.
To check out this podcast, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and get the video version on YouTube. And make sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let us know what you think. Happy holidays, everybody, and see you next time.
Happy holidays. Thanks.